Good evening, everybody. I hope you'll give me a couple minutes of your attention so I can tell you about our dear friend, John Begeny. In our business, we commonly use the word star to describe those people among us who have special qualities that allow them to shine brighter than the rest of us. Etymologists are undecided on when and where we started to use the term star, but it's the perfect metaphor, and it has endured. Anyone who ever knew John Begeny knew that he had those special qualities. Indeed, John was a star. As a matter of fact, when I first met him, it was my first day at WETA, and he burst into my office unannounced. And we spent barely a minute together before he was off to a meeting. And in that 1 minute, I realized I had met somebody special, and I just couldn't get out of my head, how do I get this guy on our air? It turned out that we were successful in that endeavor. We cast him in our show, If You Lived Here. John loved hosting that show. He did a lot of amazing things in his 20-plus years at WETA, but I'd like to believe that his star never shone brighter than when he was hosting that show. And I guess the Emmy judges agreed with me, because a year ago on this very night, he and his partner, Christine Wolski, won the Emmy for their work hosting that show. Unfortunately, just two months later, John was tragically taken from us by cancer. Funny thing about stars, though, the ones in the sky, when they expire, when they end their life, they actually keep emitting light. They continue to burn for billions of years. As a matter of fact, after tonight's event, if you go out and you look up at the starry night, you'll see twinkling lights of stars that have been gone for years and years. And even though John is gone, he is still with us, and he's burning bright. He's with us in our memories and with our stories, and most notably, through the wonderful medium of television, he's with us in our living rooms. And as a matter of fact, he's with us tonight. Let's watch the video.
Hi, I'm John Begeny.
I'm Christine Louise. We're producers at WETA and best friends for what feels like centuries.
You know, Christine, I cannot tell a lie. We love living in the D.C. area.
I know you're more familiar with this building.
I am. I remember when they built it. Hello, Veronica.
Hi, John and Christine.
Hey, Veronica.
Welcome to North Arlington.
It's so good to be back.
This guy has lived everywhere, so I think you have an unfair advantage.
So have you guys been to Tacoma Park before?
My parents, actually, they had their first apartment here. My sister was born here at the sanitarium.
Wow.
And I lived on Elm Street like 28 years ago. Well, truth be told, I actually lived here in college in a house just like this one, a colonial.
Well, you know, I know you lived here in a high-rise.
I did.
Back in the day.
Back in the day.
Okay.
I lived right across the way at the Twin Towers. That was a long time ago, and boy, have things changed.
This area back when I was growing up used to be the big club and party zone.
Oh, I remember that. Trax was right there on Half Street, just blocks away, and then you had Nation. I used to party here in like the early 90s. And back then, the Whole Foods was just a parking lot. But there was one thing here, Galaxy Heights. I remember when this was developed. It was a long time ago.
Wow, John.
Yeah, I'm old.
We won't go down that road, okay?
Well, here we are in Clarendon. This is one of my old haunts. And actually, the public access station right around the corner is where my career really began in television.
It is my distinct honor tonight to present the Ted Yates Award to John Begeny. Accepting the award on his behalf is his dear friend and co-host, Christine Wolski.
So first, I would like to thank the Capitol Emmys Board of Governors for selecting John Begeny as this year's recipient of the Ted Yates Award. It was 10 years ago that John and we received our first Emmy nomination and win for a show on the Washington Cherry Blossoms. And we were just thrilled with the nomination and never, ever expected to win. So when they called our name, the whole time we were coming up the red carpet, we were like, you say something, no, you say something. And we got up here, and for some reason, I ended up in front of the mic, got 2 words out, and froze. But John Begeny, being the guy that he is, he had my back but he wanted me to at least try to shine for a few minutes. John took great pride in his role at WETA because he saw the impact of his work. Community was important to John. He was a loyal guy who happened to live all over the DMV. In his role at WETA, he seized the opportunity to showcase local history, co-producing several shows including Homefront, World War II in Washington, and Arlington, Heroes, History, and Hamburgers. Then, as co-host of the series, If You Lived Here, he delighted in being part of a show that introduced people to the communities he cherished. He loved when people would tell him that despite living here for years, they learned something new about their neighborhood. All of us who had the privilege of working with John witnessed his immense passion for his work, whether it was working behind the scenes to literally keep the lights on, or stepping in front of the camera to showcase the greatness of this area. But for John, the greatest joy in his work was bringing happiness to others. And it is my great honor to accept this award on behalf of my coworker and best friend, John Begeny. Thank you.